Jonathan Kuminga, the last couple times we've been like, why are we still talking about this guy? I only want to say one thing, which is so I was kind of just trying to figure out the whole qualifying offer thing because that seems like it's the bigger play for him and what people think he's actually going to do is take that qualifying offer. Okay, so Sam Gordon from the Chronicle had a column and I just wanted to kind of read from his piece just so everyone is aware of how Kuminga plays this. So for the Warriors, the negative thing about Kuminga accepting the qualifying offer is that, for one, that slot is cheap. So I think it's like 1 year, 7 million or something. So from a trade aspect, the Warriors would not have a high trade opportunity with his salary with the way that NBA trades work. So Sam writes, extending Kuminga with a multi-year deal worth more than 20 million annually would give the Warriors optionality in trades if the partnership sputters this season. They would preserve the salary slot and with it the chance to aggregate his contract with other contracts in a deal. That is, unless he signs the qualifying offer. Signing the tender would grant Kuminga an implied no trade clause in 2025-26 and veto power in a potential trade. Yes, the Warriors could trade him in theory should he part with his vetoing rights, but the receiving team would lose his bird rights that grant the option to re-sign Kuminga while exceeding the salary cap. Therefore, acceptance of the qualifying offer would compromise Kuminga's trade value this season while all but guaranteeing he signs elsewhere. So reading that, I much more understand the standoff because the Warriors are trying to play hardball by saying, we're going to offer you a 2-year deal. You're going to make a lot more money, but we want the option on that second year. We don't want you to be able to get out of that unless we want you to get out of that. And so that seems to be the thing that is holding him back from signing the deal with the Warriors. And I kind of wonder if it's going to be a who blinks first kind of thing right up into the deadline. Because for the Warriors, it is so much better if he signs because his trade value will be so much higher than if he signs a qualifying offer. So that is where it stands. And I'm just assuming that we are going to see this standoff all the way until whenever that deadline is.
I also read that he has vetoing power over any trade if he signs the qualifying offer. I'm not
Right.
sure if you said that.
That's what was in the Gordon piece was the
Okay.
vetoing thing. So even and then let's say that he forgoes that veto, the team that trades for him automatically loses his bird rights, which is
Yeah,
which
that
which
sucks.
is, would not be great for them. So he would basically be seemingly untradeable this year. They would have him for the year, then he would be a free agent, and you lose him, and he's gone. That is the scenario that it seems that he is using as his leverage for the Warriors to do whatever that they're going to do. So
Is there any compromise? Because he's like, I want player option. Warriors say, no, we're doing team option. Could the compromise be no option? Or is a no option worse than team option? I'd assume team option's the worst for him.
so
Would the
like just an
compromise no
overall
option?
2-year deal.
It's 2 years.
I mean, yeah, and then the handshake thing of like, look, dude, after either this year or next year, we're going to try very hard to work with you and get you somewhere where you want to be.
Yeah, but he's probably not like down for any type of handshake with the Warriors. He probably feels like so burned. Like I think I read like he didn't want to be a pawn in a situation where he already feels like the scapegoat or something, or I read something along those lines, and I'm like, I get it.
But if you think about it, the reason why the Warriors want that trade option or that team option is because that also gives the other team who they may trade him to
That
some
team option.
security. So they would own the team option,
Yeah,
and
of course. I think every
that makes
team
the
would
trade
want
value higher.
team option over player option.
Mhm.
Would always want player option over team option.
Yeah, because he's going to opt out no matter what.
No,
Unless he gets
here's
hurt.
you
Then
know,
he would opt in.
yeah, if he gets hurt, he'd opt in. I think there are, like, situations I tried to read a couple articles because I wasn't sure how in depth we were going about this, but I think there's, like, the obvious Nerlens Noel, example where he kinda did the bet on himself thing and then turned
Got
down
hurt.
$1,000,000 sell $70,000,000 offer, gets hurt, and then signs, like, for 2,000,000 or the veteran minimum for OKC the next year. Like, that's probably something he goes to bed every night thinking about.
The
He's like,
rest of his
"Here's
career,
that."
Nerlens Noel, I think he he made 25,000,000 over the rest of his career, but yeah, so that is a loss of, almost 50,000,000, 45,000,000. So,
And I think there's a Ben Gordon, Greg Monroe, flip side of the argument where they were able to do what Kuminga wants to do,
yeah.
make the money.
So basically, my opinion is this thing's not gonna. There's not gonna be an answer anytime soon. We're going to the deadline, people. All right,
Can the
shoot.
Warriors do a is there a JK0 LLC that the Warriors can funnel money into?
Steve Ballmer-esque kind of move here.
That's relevant basketball news. Why wouldn't we talk about that?
I
I
just
don't
don't understand it, which is the big thing. I saw Steve Ballmer's. He was saying that it was an actual company that they invested in that went bankrupt, or something like that.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's all probably shady stuff and
I mean, this is what Bill Simmons is always says is always done. Like he would always say, like, Dirk in the end of Dirk's career, it's like, okay, yeah, he's signing for less money because he's going to have a piece of the team or whatever. This was when Cuban had the team, and there's always like conversation about that. But yeah, I want to read like I haven't heard Pablo Torre's podcast on it actually, so I want to hear that. But I can't wait for all the pieces that are going to come out because
I really hope Bill has him on.
Pablo Torre.
Second time in 2 months or something?
Yeah, yeah, he should. He definitely should.
That would it completely fits with, like, Bill being a season ticket holder for the Clippers if he still is, and, this story in hoop, like, it would be a great conversation. I really hope they do it.